Peace, y'all. What up? Peace, Detroit. What's going on? That's in. Peace, peace. Peace and power to all the descendants of my ancient mother. I'm well, Queen. I'm well. Hope you're doing well. Ashe O. Welcome to the live. I know I've been busy. I've been working for the people. You know that don't stop. I've been working for the people. You know we gotta keep building. I am not a TikToker. And I host these conversations not so that people can get upset and be entertained by discourse, but rather to educate and gear the conversation towards critical thinking, self-reflection, and a analysis of our environment. I'm here to raise your consciousness, you feel me? Some of y'all favorite TikTokers still talking about the same prompt that they copied off of me. I'm gonna keep you on your toes because I'm not just here to entertain. I'm always gonna have something else to talk about. I'm always gonna have something else that we need to address. Sometimes you gotta read the room. There's a couple things going on right now that needs to be addressed. I heard you was caught dating a white tea woman. Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. I don't know where you heard that, but the person that got the matching ring is black as the Queen of Sheba. So you might want to try again, buddy. We all win. Division is only good for elites. Is that all it's good for? Is it only the elites? Then how come when I go to poor white towns, I experience more racism? Why are sundown towns, when I go there and drive through in the daytime, I don't see many mansions in the sundown towns? If it's just elites, then why is it that it's the beer drinking, working, well, really not working, but, you know, the crystal F smoking, you know what I'm saying? Why is it them that are racist? You know, with the prison schmatzy tattoos? Nah, they have had white tea privilege this entire 400 plus years. They sure have. Because poor white tea people feel like they're above someone. Bingo. No matter how poor they are, no matter how oppressed they are in their own minds, white tea people get the validation by looking at us. I'm saying, hey, at least I ain't black. Whew. At least I'm not one of them. Long beard having. I can't. Long beard having. You know what I'm saying? Blackness can only flourish in the absence of white tea-ness. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. It's interesting. I would guess your choice of words, flourish, I think is the reason I have I don't know about that one. Because, well, I mean, we've been able to flourish either way. You feel me? Salute, Draco. What's going on, brother? Can we benefit from unifying with the Blancos? Can we benefit? Can we benefit from a good old bowl of raisin salad? Can we benefit? Is it something that will give us a net positive? Can we all benefit from a good old piece of pumpkin pie? You know what I'm saying? Or a good slice of cherry pie. Do black people eat cherry pie? Be real with me in the comments, y'all. Do y'all eat cherry pie? I used to eat it when I was little because they would give it to me. But now at your big age, do y'all eat cherry pie? Does your grandmother make cherry pie? Somebody said pecan. Pecan. Hey, shout out to the pecan eating folks. Not really. I make potato pie. What kind of potato you talking about? What kind of potato is that? Now you need to clarify. Apple and sweet potato. Absolutely. We can do that all day. It got cinnamon in it. That's what it is. Cinnamon resemble the melanin on us. So we good with the cinnamon. Shout out to the Zams. All right. You got your black card back. Because I don't know, you be all type of craziness on this internet. Be some potatoes in a pie. Like, what are y'all doing? What they call that? Shepherd's pie. I think it's got potatoes all in it. I don't know. We ain't eating that. No, I ain't eating that. Can black people benefit from unifying with white people? It's a question that I thought of as I was watching the DNC. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I've seen bits and pieces of it. And it seemed like the message was unity, 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 unity. So what are we unifying for? What is the purpose of us unifying? What is the benefit of us unifying? Can we talk about it? Does anyone know? Would anyone like to come up and let us know the benefits of unifying? If black and white people vote for the same candidate, who wins? If two groups have adversarial interests and they're both voting for the same candidate, whose interests take the stage? Who wins? Same thing with God, you could say. If black and white people are worshiping the same God, whose prayers does he answer? Who wins in the end? Something to think about. No one. I don't think so. I think as long as Western imperialism and white supremacy remain in place, there is a winner. There is a winner. Let's be honest. There is a winner. The bits and pieces in your phone are built by the oppression of small black children as young as 3 years old, digging coltan and cobalt out of mines in the Congo. Western imperialism sucks up 25% of the world's resources for only, 4% of the world's population. Something to think about. Western imperialism in the United States need to exploit in order to maintain their status quo. So if we're both voting for the same candidate, somebody's winning if the status quo remains. The environment and pollution ain't working fast enough for us to say that they're losing. It's not working fast enough. Not enough of them have been unalived by the environment. So I hear you, and I want to believe that too, but no, it's not true. If that were the case, whenever something's going on in their community, y'all haven't noticed that it gets called an epidemic and a pandemic when it's happening to them. When it happens to us, it's like, shut up and get over it. Come on, you're playing the victim. When it happens to them, it's like, whoa. Oh no, whoa, epidemic. Oh no. You know what I'm saying? It would have been heat stroke epidemic. It would have been all over the news. What are we going to do? You know what I'm saying? Their population dwindling doesn't mean that their power is dwindling. They've always been the minority, and there were less of them that controlled more of the world. When there were less of them, they controlled more of the world. So again, leaving it up to Mother Nature just ain't cutting it for me. I hear you, but that ain't that might be a 1,000-year solution you're talking. That might be thousands of years from now. The ozone layer done disappeared entirely, and now they can't be in the sun at all. You know, then maybe we can talk about it. But waiting on the sun for black liberation is wild. I don't see that. Peace, Auntie. What's going on?
Hey there. Um, yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm sorry. We got five senses. Use all of them. You know what I mean? And to me,
Mm-hmm.
this latest thing, I saw somebody doing this morning. The Palestinians have gotten their Pally wake up call, because here you are, delegate, and you participated in the convention, and they even said that they were going to give them a speech by a Palestinian, make sure they approved all of the wording and everything would be great. Just let us have a voice at the convention. And they got a big fat no. So all of y'all sitting around, delegates at the convention, you done got your wake up call. So you done tried to bend over as much as you can, but you will see when you bend over, they make you bite the pillow. Okay, so there. I mean, to me, if this isn't the perfect example that black folks need to see, I don't know what is. Here you are still trying to play tiddlywinks with the oppressor, and they kicked you to the curb. So obviously they've done enough calculating. They've tried to figure out, let's see, how many of these, how can we get away with so many Palestinians that not are going to not vote, blah, blah, blah. Don't you know? I'm like, I want to say to them, don't you know they didn't already figured all that out? They don't need you. They don't want you. They kicked you in your ass, and you sitting up
Mm-hmm.
there in the convention holding up signs from what state you from. So to me, black people, same thing. It's even worse. We sitting up there happy that Lil John talking about doing his thing. Who else was there? I heard I don't even know who else showed up
Oprah.
there. I just saw the Little John clip.
Oprah was
Um
there.
yeah, you know, here we are sitting up there clapping like seals too, and they doing us worse. And
Mm-hmm.
you sitting up there being a part of the same. That's why I said my favorite line from The Godfather is, "We are part of the same hypocrisy."
Mm-hmm.
Seriously. And if you can't see that, Stevie Wonder can see it. But you're still sitting up here running up behind somebody, trying to participate, and they steadily kicking you in your ass, and you can't even see it. It's just disgusting to me. But that's it for me right now.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, Auntie, for that breakdown. That's yeah. I seen the video of the DNC. They went around asking people, "What policy is your favorite from Kamala? Like, what are you most excited for?" And nobody could answer. They were just like, "The fact that she'll be president." like, like they're just happy that we're gonna vote a black woman in. Yay! No one could name anything. I mean, I think it was like one dude that was like healthcare and she'll pressure people. But that's about it.
Lord, pressure who? And if they talk about insulin being $35 a bottle one more damn time, being the diabetic that I am, they say that every time. That's it. And that's the one thing you have to give the Republicans. They have one message, one thing. They say it all the time. That's it. Democrats, what? Like you said, what policy? Like what?
Yeah.
You don't have nothing.
Yeah, at least they used to lie to us. Say, Obama, I felt like he had a platform. Like now it's just good vibes and Little John. I'm gonna go to the next guest. Poetic Logic, give us your age, race, and pronouns. I'm not sure what that sound is. If you know, I'm gonna come up to you in a moment. I'm getting like a
What's good, brother
sound.
legend?
Peace. Talk to us, family.
This whole thing that they got going for us, you know, it really is. It's just the trickery of it all. You know what I mean? Any sort of thing in which that may give the appearance that it's going to benefit black people, it's ultimately a lie. It's a facade. It's an illusion. You know?
Mm-hmm.
In any sort of game that's being played in politics, the game is already rigged. You know? And I think I said it in the comments yesterday that you're given two doors. One leads to a pit of lava, and the other leads to a vat of acid. Neither is gonna be able to help you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what I see, especially when it comes to the whole two-party system. I am going to check out that one book. I recently saw your video as far as the destruction of black civilization. I really do. I'm still going through it. I'm actually looking at one of the books that you recommended. I'm actually going through it still. But
Which one?
I think it's it's Black Civilization.
Oh, okay. Destruction of black civilization. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I just made a video about that one.
Yeah, that one. I really do have to go through that one.
Mm-hmm.
But how I feel is, many of just because you put a black face on something does not mean that it's benefiting you. It's ultimately something that's benefiting YT people. You know what I mean? They use leaders, they use celebrities, they use all of this fanfare to kind of get people on board. As far as saying, oh yeah, this is for you. This is something to be, a part of. But in actuality, it's nothing more than a tool to further subjugate you, to keep you in line, to keep you, unaware of what actually is going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely maintaining the status quo.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, and I'm gonna give a little pushback to Smart Sister. I know she's an elder, but I do believe we have six senses. A sense was given to us by our Creator, by our ancestors, as far as understanding who we are and what we need to do, and also being able to, smell BS where when it actually is around you. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of what we've been given. Most of us don't even look at what we're given as BS. They just take that stuff and eat it.
Well, it's not. I don't look at it as pushback. If you come up with another sense, I'm just talking about the main ones on your body right now. We all know we got a
Right.
third eye too, but
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
yeah. Oh, I get you.
Respectfully.
I'm just saying old saying. You got five senses usual. As old folks used to say that.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. But that comes from understanding who you are and how this whole system works. We still want to, like I said, the Pally wake up call to me should go out to everyone. That here we got the same energy. The same enemies. The small hats are our enemies too. Look what they doing. They're the ones getting all the resources out of the motherland and Haiti and everywhere. We got the same enemy.
Yep.
But for you to thought that you could be a part of something, and this is really a democracy where you can really have a voice, kick rocks. No, you don't.
It's one of the
And no,
greatest
you
lies ever
can't.
told. And people are mystified by this whole idea of democracy. It is a republic that we're actually living in.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's democracy does not live here.
No, it is a republic. Period. People take a civics lesson. Damn. It's not real hard. They're not even living up to what they said they was gonna do. So what are you still sitting up here? Like I said, take a person with a 37% approval rating, the lowest of any vice president ever, and then now all of a sudden she's the second coming of Christ. So, read the tea leaves, people. It's right there.
Show is. If you know, give us your age, race, and pronouns. If you're there, looks like you got a weak signal.
Sorry. 43 and him.
Your race.
White.
All right. Talk to us.
My issue is that ever since I've started taking interest in politics, it's always been race has always played. Whether it was white, black, Mexican, whatever. Everyone's focusing on the wrong person. Everyone wants to focus on the president. The president can't do anything without Congress. That's where, and everyone's okay with the same people being in the same office for how many years? I mean, heck, Nancy Pelosi was in for, 40-something? Biden was in for, 50-something? If you want change, screw the president and go for your local. Go for the legislative branch, not the executive. And that's pretty much where I'm at. I'm tired. I really am tired of everybody saying white privilege. Yes, it existed. Yes, sometimes it still does in rarity. But in order for there to be change, unfortunately, stuff's got to get let go. Now, I'm not saying forget it all, but learn from it. We can change it, no problem. But the whole thing of, oh, well, my ancestors were oppressed, so now we have to oppress the people that are currently living is stupid. But fine. We all have.
Who says
issues.
that? Who says we should oppress people that are currently living?
Just young people. There are people that are like, oh, well, my ancestors were enslaved for years, so, it's time for white people to know what we went through. And I'm like, you're 20-something years old. What do you really understand about it? So that's where I'm at.
Okay, so you said that the president can't do anything without the Congress.
Senate, sorry.
The Senate?
Both, yeah. It takes both them, That's where
Both, yeah.
everything happened.
Okay, so
I mean, presidential is just a face. I mean, they really don't run anything. Everything has to get approved through somebody else.
okay, so they need the Congress and the Supreme Court in order to get things passed, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what percentage of the Supreme Court is white?
I think we have what? Of the 9, there's 1 or 2 black people in there right now?
Are you talking about the Supreme Court?
Yes.
I said the Congress.
Oh, was it like 90%?
You're actually a little high, but
Okay.
it's actually 72% of Congress is white.
Okay.
So the president needs permission of Congress in order to do things,
Mm-hmm.
and 72% of Congress is white.
So
Do you
stop
believe
focusing.
that the president needs permission from white people to do things?
I don't do the race thing.
Can the
It's a
president do anything that white people disagree with and get it passed?
Right now, probably not.
Okay.
That's why I say don't focus on the presidency, and that's where
Can
everybody's
can the president do something that black people disagree with and still get it passed?
at. Probably.
So then who do you think has the power to oppress people?
It's still your Congress and Senate. Stop voting for the presidents. Stop worrying about the presidential vote and worry about your Congress, Senate. It's all legislative. It's not executive.
Okay. And who do you think controls the Congress? What race?
We the people.
Do you feel like 72% of the Congress being white is representative of the population of America?
No.
So then when you say we the people, do you mean white people?
No. I mean we the people of the United States.
When the words we the people were written, were black people considered people?
No, and I don't care. That's not what I don't care what it stood for then.
So we're going to stop the discussion in the line of questioning to get a deeper understanding because you don't care?
No, I don't care what it stood for. I care what it stands for now.
Okay, but even now, we the people are not represented in Congress because 72% of Congress is white.
Then
That's what you said.
And we're still 3/5, by the way.
And start pushing more black people, especially young black people, to vote for black legislative.
I don't think you understand that the majority of
Poetic,
white
don't
people
teach
in
him.
the Senate. Okay, you're right.
You about to do it. I know. Come on now.
You're right. You're right. My bad.
We ain't here to do that. All right. So, what do you think black people should do? Go ahead.
Vote. Protest. Everything that that the Constitution allows you to do.
The Constitution, which is maintained by the majority white Congress, right?
Yes.
So we should protest in ways that white people allow us?
You should protest in ways that are legal, nonviolent.
And what is considered nonviolent is determined by the Supreme Court, which is also majority white, correct?
Yes. But that doesn't mean that change can still happen with white people being in charge.
Okay, so change would be white people maintaining being in charge?
No.
So change would be white people no longer being in charge. But we have to protest in a way that white people say is nonviolent and white people in the Congress say are legal.
Not only white people. It's the way the Constitution is, not the way white people talk.
72% of Congress is white,
Then
and a
change it.
majority
Change it.
of Supreme Court justices are white.
Then change it.
And we have to change it in a way that the people that are currently in charge would allow us to change it, right?
Change it in a way that it is written. I mean, what do you think that going out?
Like, he's trying so hard not to just say, do what I said, boy.
No,
He trying, because I said so, boy. That's really what he's saying to me right now in the most passive aggressive way, man. It's cute.
Negative.
Yeah, he is.
Look at the riots that we had. What was that, 2 summers ago? What happened? Violent protesting. Cities getting taken over.
What happened? Violence happened?
Yes.
Did you hear about Sonia Massey?
Oh, yes, and I hate that with everything in my heart.
Okay. Did you hear about Robertson? What's that brother's name? Robertson, a few months ago. Did you hear about Ajike Owens? Did you hear about Takia Young?
Some of them sound familiar, yes.
Okay, so they were all unalived in the past year, and more black people have been unalived by white people and the police in the past year than anyone during the protests during 2020.
Change. Go for the legislative branch, not the executive.
But the legislative branch is controlled by white people.
Then change it.
But you said that change can happen with white people in charge, but we have to follow white people's rules in order to change so that white people are no longer in charge.
Work within the rules. There's always loopholes for everything.
So work within white people's rules to take over white people's rule. Is that what you think?
No. Again, you're making it all about race. I'm not.
I'm making it about race. It's not already about race.
Not if you stop making it about race.
Okay, so what should it be? Wait, hold on. What should it be about?
Constitution. It's about the Constitution. It's about equality.
It's about equality. Okay.
Start thinking outside of the box.
Outside of the box. Okay.
Outside.
Okay, and what would outside the box thinking look like to you?
Depends on what change you want.
What change do you think black people want?
Tell me. How does anybody know unless you say the whole, oh, what do you think? Well, I mean, if we go that route, someone could say something really stupid. And then what?
I feel like you've done nothing but that.
What? Think about what black people want?
No, say things that are really stupid.
You can think that all you want. Great thing about the Constitution, you have value to your opinion. I don't have
Really?
to. Your opinion is valued to somebody. Disagree or not, can white and black people come together? Yes. How? Your opinion. You can agree. You can think my opinion is stupid. Anyone else in here can also think my opinion is stupid. Hey, that's great.
We do.
But, that's fine. But if it wasn't for the few white people to help black people, you would still be considered property, not a person.
And who would be considering us property?
All white people, if we didn't help you.
Okay. And how did white people help us not be considered property by white people?
Because some of us actually value life and treat you as equals.
Then why were we treated as property in the first place?
Because your own ancestors sold you to my ancestors.
And when did they initiate the sale? Did they go to Europe and say, hey, I want to sell you my sister. I don't want her anymore. When did that happen? When did the trade begin? When Africans went to Europe to sell Africans?
Africans didn't go to Europe to sell Africans.
Oh, okay. So Europeans came to Africa to buy Africans, then, right?
Hmm?
Okay. So, what does this outside the box thinking look like? I'm really curious about that.
Protest properly, and not in a place where your voice can't be heard.
Give me an example of an oppressed people that protest within the guidelines of the people that were oppressing them and successfully obtained liberation.
What is it you want?
Well, I just want to know, when has like what are you basing this idea of peaceful protest, when has it ever worked?
For plenty of times.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's also
Okay.
it's also gone horribly wrong.
I just want to know when. Can you name a time? You said plenty of times. Can you name one?
Oklahoma. How many of those trans people pretty much took over the state capitol so they could be treated equal?
Trans people took over the state capital of Oklahoma?
You don't do it all out.
He ran! He ran, man. Y'all had one more paw, man. Y'all had one more paw to go, man. I don't know why y'all didn't. Why y'all didn't? He was trying so hard not to call me boy. You could hear it on his lips.
Yeah. And by the way, I appreciate you, brother Legend.
Yeah.
It was just, man, the nonsense.
You gotta let it. You gotta let it happen, because brothers and sisters that are listening along, brothers and sisters that come to my lives, y'all know we're here to learn. When they come up here, we're here to learn. Did y'all see how dismissive he was? Did you see how how he wasn't able to acknowledge oppression, acknowledge race? He had to keep defaulting to, it's not about race. It's, just like, what do you guys want? What do you want from us? And you're right. So what we're here to do when it comes to the ignorant mind of some of these white supremacists is we want to expose how they think so that we can see it in 3D, so that we can wake black people up from thinking that these people are our friends and have our best interests at heart. Y'all need to hear this. Because they smile at you at work and y'all think they're your friends. Some of y'all invite the devil right up in your house. If I brought an African statue or mask to your house, you would say, don't bring that in here. Don't bring that in here. I don't want, no, you bringing devils in here. You bring the demons in my house. Don't bring that in here. Y'all throw it in the garbage. Shoot, some of y'all are burning. But then you turn around and invite your white coworkers over for dinner. Invite the devil right in your home when you turn on the television. You're watching the Kardashians or watching Fox News. But anyway, let's get back to it. Appreciate y'all sending the Panther Paws. Share the live with someone melanated. Share the live with somebody who can see their lips when their mouth is closed, who uses shea butter on their skin, uses cocoa butter, coconut oil on their hair, skin, and food. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that has a washcloth in the vicinity of their dwelling, So when they uses a washcloth, you know what I'm talking about. Pumpkin pie, never had in their life ass, you know what I'm saying? Yams with marshmallows on top, you know what I'm saying? Cutting macaroni and cheese with a knife. You know who I'm talking about. Share the live. Let's get on the right algorithm with my family, my brothers and sisters worldwide. We're gonna go to the next guest, Shay2534. Give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
I'm 22. I'm Black American, and my pronouns are she, her.
All right, talk to us.
First, I just want to make sure to add that, like, sometimes when I explain stuff, it'll sound weird, so just bear with me. But when it comes to, I think that we could benefit from unifying. I kind of see the world. I've endured racism, and I've also endured appreciation. And it's kind of like, in my eyes, I'd rather us focus on, as a unit, the real major problems that we are facing. Aside from just racism, but we forget that Black people can be racist just as well. White people can.
All right.
I mean,
I remember you said that when you explain things, it's gonna come out weird. And as soon as you said that, my first thought was, is this a live you should be on? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not here to embarrass nobody, but if what you're saying is going to be misconstrued and you know that, like, you're cognizant of that, maybe you shouldn't be on this live where every word that comes out of your mouth needs to be intentional, because we're talking on very nuanced topics.
It's very, very, very intentional what I'm saying. And
All right.
what I'm telling you is from experience.
That's not good. That's not good enough.
It's been
on this live. I'm trying to warn you, because I'm not a regular TikToker. Like, you can look me up. You know what I'm saying? Look up what I'm doing with my brothers and sisters. B1 Initiative Foundation. But this live is for advanced level, like, Garveyites.
I mean,
do you know what a Garveyite is?
No, I don't know what that word means. I mean, if I can explain myself real quick.
All right.
I kind of feel as though you're taking it as me being a Black person and me saying that Black people can be racist, that I don't appreciate Black people.
In what ways does Black racism negatively impact the lives of non-Black people?
Okay, take it for an example. Let's just say, okay, you go up to someone that you may assume because the color of their skin is white, that they are. You just go up to them, you're like, you wouldn't understand my struggles. You wouldn't understand what me and my ancestors went through. One, you can't say that to everyone, because what if that person you were talking about was Jewish?
They don't understand our struggle.
They may not understand exactly. Oh, being slaves. Are we forgetting about the Holocaust? Are we?
There is no. Black people are the victims of the Holocaust. Jewish people are the victims of a Holocaust. So we gotta get that straight first. Like, we're the victims of the Holocaust. All right. Look at the Congo. We're the victims of the Holocaust. They are the victims of one of the Holocausts.
Can I finish explaining?
But also, Jewish is not a race.
Hold on, wait. It's like also telling Chinese people that they wouldn't understand being slaves. Are we forgetting about the Japanese? Are we forgetting about all this other stuff? I think our problem is we're so focused, and I'm saying, and this is wrong for white people.
No, it's wrong. A lot of what you're saying is wrong, because it's wrong. I can't even let you talk because you're saying everything incorrect. Like, you just you need to listen more than you need to talk. That's someone just said it in the comments. Like, you probably shouldn't be up here with anecdote, and I don't want to, like, go off on a tangent, to be honest, but you started off with Black people being racist. I can name ways that white racism affects Black people in economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, war, and health.
Okay,
but you cannot name one area of people activity that Black racism is adversely affecting the lives of non-Black people.
Can you answer this question? All right, let's say that you say a white person, as we already know in history, restaurant, says no Black people allowed. That's racist, right? That's racist.
What?
Let's answer the question. If when a white person opened a restaurant and they put a sign,
that's where you're losing me right there. That's where you're losing me right there. When we talk about racism, racism is no, it's not. And racism is a group sport. Racism is a system of oppression built by white people to maintain control and dominance over all non-white people. So when we talk about racism and you say person, you already messed up. a
Black
white
people
person,
aren't the
you
only
already
people who
messed
have
up. When
oppressed
you say a
people.
black person, you already messed up. People. We're talking about people groups. I cannot be racist by myself. I need a team of a system of power behind me in order to be racist. It's completely different. And I know you don't know that nuance by how you're talking. And I just think maybe you're better off listening from down below. But, thank you. See, I didn't want to have to kick her off or nothing, but, you know what I'm saying? Somebody come up here that backwards. It's like we're playing a football game and they got the ball and they just running in the wrong, like they running into the bleachers. It's like, whoa, like, you shouldn't even be in the game right now. Like, I hear you, but no. Black Cabinet, what's going on, Professor?
Man, talking about somebody who's lost. My goodness.
Yeah.
I only came up. I was gonna come. Your boy was on here talking about, people sold people into slavery. I always tell people this: if I sell you a car and you go out and wreck that car, am I responsible for that car?
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
If I sell you something and you mistreat what I sell you, it's not my fault that you mistreated it.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of times when they be like, "Oh, black people," I was like, no. When they made a transaction, they didn't make a transaction knowing you was gonna do the bullshit you was doing. So you gotta be don't try and throw it on me because you mistreated the car. Don't try and throw it on African people because you mistreated African people. You feel me, sir? I just wanted to throw that out there. Next time someone says some bullshit like that, just let them know, hey, if I sell you something and you go and mistreat what I sold you, is it my fault for selling it to you, or is it your fault for mistreating it?
Absolutely. I mean, and then I know
That's
you
all.
know this. I know you know this, Professor, but it was the Portuguese that started out by kidnapping Africans. And then later on,
Yeah.
they realized that it was easier to create a fake arms race between the different ethnicities so that they would be able to either sell us your enemies or we'll give them pew-pews and they'll sell you to us. Which one you want to do? And so,
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? It was like a free market, supposedly, under duress, under coercion, is not a free market. So it's forced. So
Exactly, because if that was the case, then they should have been able to go buy people from other people everywhere. It's the
right.
fact that they dehumanize us enough to do that in the first place. But no, that's all it came from. I ain't know it's gonna get craziness up here.
Yeah.
I mean, no.
I'm telling you, man.
Hey, yeah. Hey, she said, hey, I'm like, yeah, she ain't got enough. She is not the sharpest pencil in the deck.
Yeah,
So
and I try to
yeah, I
give
was
him
just like, wow.
grace. Yeah. I used to go off, but now lately I've been just kind of like, man, we so lost, man. Some of us just need to listen, you know. I don't want to chop them up like that. Yeah.
All right, well, look, man, I'm going to drop. I'm about to pick up my daughter from wrestling practice. But you got someone else in the box here, so I'm going to let you get old Steel Wheel up here and do what you got to do.
I'll say, brother. Appreciate
All
you.
right, man.
All right.
All right, brother. All right, out.
Will, give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
Sir, I'm 23, I'm white, and I'm a him.
All right, talk to us.
Yeah, man, I just saw on here, can white and black people identify, or can we unify together? And I think it's kind of like this. Slavery left such a scar on the United States that it's going to cause complications. And I know that ain't with everything, but with this in particular subject, I believe we can unify better if we just block out the haters, to be honest with you. Because I just ignore all that. I've been called racist, and
Are you racist?
hell no. I was
How
in
do
the
you
Army,
know?
brother. Well, I have black cousins, I have a bunch of coworkers who are black, I'd put my life on the line for them, Color has nothing to do with nothing.
So because you love some black people, you're not racist.
I'm not racist, period.
Okay. So what is your definition of a racist?
Racist is somebody who uses slander or hates somebody due to their race or ethnicity, such as using slurs or, just treating them differently. I don't believe in treating anybody differently because I've been treated differently by people of my own race. So it's
Mm-hmm.
I've had a rough upbringing, man. I used to get bullied and picked on by people of my own color, and I've been treated better by people of a different race, and coming from rural Georgia, that kind of says a lot because I came from a white community, but I live 40 miles from Atlanta. So I kind of moved out here and I got the experience from listening to other people and getting mentors from other people. My mentor, he's actually black, and he's helped me overcome a lot, suicidal thoughts and stuff of that nature.
So if you needed a heart surgery and there was two doctors available, one was like 24 years old, or 26 years old rather, just graduated and new to the game, and then there was like a 50, 60-year-old doctor that's been in heart surgery for 30 years. Which one would you prefer to go to?
The guy who's been doing it for way longer than 3-4 years, I'd much rather trust a 60-year-old.
Okay, so would you say that that's discrimination because you discriminated?
Well, I believe I'd be discriminating based on qualifications.
Okay. And so when you discriminate based on qualifications, would you say that that's malicious or hate?
I don't believe it's hate. All of us go through our moments where we have shortcomings. Like, it's hard to put any kind of comparison with a heart surgeon, because you go through 16 years of residency just to become a heart surgeon.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But,
So let's say that since it's okay to discriminate based on merit, let's say that there are obstacles put in place from one race of people in achieving merit. Would you then still feel just as justified to discriminate based on merit, not hatred, but this black person's less qualified, but there's a system at play that makes sure that black people have less of access to resources to make them more qualified, but and that's unfortunate. And you're not a racist, but you do maybe discriminate because
I mean, that could be true, but I'm far from racist, man, because I've seen both sides of the spectrum. I've seen poor blacks, rich blacks, poor whites, broke whites. The list goes on and on. But I can tell you, in some of these underdeveloped areas, there are kids that are underprivileged, and we do need to do things to allow us to have more progression with everybody, not just one singularity. Which that singularity is most like Chicago. I saw a statistic that a lot of kids don't have access to Wi-Fi, and I'm not a proponent for like Biden or Harris or anything like that, but I did see how we can invest in black culture and black infrastructure to allow those underprivileged areas to thrive and have success.
Okay. And I'm sorry, you lost me a little bit, but okay, so underprivileged areas, why do you think they're underprivileged? Do you think there's economic reasons to why they're underprivileged? Like whose fault is it that there's underprivileged areas in America, the richest country on earth?
Well, honestly, I'm just the average guy, and like I said, I come from rural, like countryside Georgia, and we have so many corrupt leaders, and it's hard to place the blame on just one person because it's the whole system that's
Right.
really
All
fucked
right.
up.
Right. It's the system. Who creates and controls, maintains that system?
Uh, I mean, it depends on the state level, county level, all the way up to federal level.
Right.
It just
Up to
depends
the
on the
federal
warriors.
level. Up to the federal level.
Right.
What people group racially control most of Congress?
Well, historically white, but as times proceed, after the scar that we have from slavery, everything's starting to work out. But that leads back to our growing pains that I was talking about. And it shouldn't even be necessary to have growing pains from the harsh reality that our forefathers caused, and or not specifically your forefathers, but more of white forefathers. And my parents, for example, they were born in the 50s, and they showed me what not to be. I've experienced white on black racism. My family, I can even contest to that. But I've separated myself from that, and it's really hard to obtain an open mind whenever you're surrounded by a bunch of white folk who all believe in this one thing. Hell, I got cussed out for bringing a black girl home one day, and they were like, "Yeah, motherfucker, I'm gonna ground you. I'm gonna take your door from you," and stuff like that. And I got away from it, luckily. And the system could be from white people, but we have so many leaders like Keisha Lance Bottoms, the mayor of Atlanta. She stepped down because she wasn't able to fulfill her duties, and she was overspending in the budget. But we have a new mayor. He's the same complexion as her, and he's starting to invest in these cities that are corrupted, like Fulton Industrial area. And I can only speak for the state I live in because I've only been in Georgia 22 years. I don't really travel other than whenever I was in the military. But I have witnessed, black disparity. I've witnessed white disparity, and I believe our system should be corrected to the point to where we look out for one another. And I understand, like, say if you're black and you get pulled over, I can understand the fear, and I can see that side. I can also see the side of HCBUs, those historically black colleges. And how their acceptance rate is higher for blacks. And they wanted an all black dormitory. If whites did that, wanted an all white dormitory, it would be racism. And I don't think it should work like that. If you want to
Why
have,
don't you think it should work like that?
because I mean, that goes back to the
Has
fact
there
of
been a time
segregation.
where all black institutions enslaved and built, were built by white people?
There was a point in time to where that could happen.
When?
Even recently. I mean, like
An
before the
all
civil
black
rights movement.
institution built by enslaved white people. Please let me know. I got my computer in front of me right now. When did that happen?
Whenever all the niggers took over.
I see. And that was disappointing. I actually wanted to keep asking them questions. Anyway, y'all could have Panther Pawed him, and y'all didn't. Y'all could have Panther Pawed him, and y'all didn't. So we'll just keep moving on. Just so y'all know, FYI, Harvard University was an all-white school built by enslaved Africans, or enslaved African Americans. Yale, Princeton. So the list goes on, but yeah. So that really happened. I'm gonna go to the next guest. I think you've been here for a while. Juma Rafiki, what's going on? Give us your age, race, and pronouns. Didn't mean to skip you. Juma, you there? I don't know. Maybe this person might have not even know they got up here. Go to the next person. Hors d'oeuvres. Give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
Hey there, I'm 48, she, her, Black American.
All right, talk to us.
Yeah, that was gross. That was really gross just now. I kind of want to
Typical.
go back to what Shay was saying. It always makes me cringe when I hear Black Americans, or anyone for that matter, say that Black people are racist. One of the things I put in the comments, I don't know if you've seen that skit by Amir, a comedian, when he talked about there's no such thing as reverse racism. We would literally need a time machine and to export people, YT people, from Europe into Africa or into China to work on rice plantations. We would need to determine the systems that put us ahead of everybody else. We would need to create a situation in which our skin and our hair were the standard of beauty. We would need to bomb them back to the Middle Ages from time to time. So I never believe, and I'm always appalled when I hear people say that Black people are racist, because that's just not a thing. Secondly, in answer to the prompts, can us folks benefit from unifying? I do not believe that we can unless these folks are willing to dismantle the system that they established. Period.
Can you stop right there? Because you said period. Can you stop right there? She is the first person to come up here and answer that first question correctly. Oh my goodness. It has been hell on this live. And a lot of y'all frenemies, you know what I'm saying, false allies, you know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all snow demons in the comments was agreeing with that last guest until he said the N-word, and then you still gonna think you're not racist. So you was agreeing with that racist. A lot of you always in here agreeing with that racist. And then he said the N-word, you was like, whoa. But anyway, thank you for answering the first question truthfully. As long as Black and white exists as a caste system to oppress Black people, then how the hell is us coming together with these identities still intact going to help or benefit Black people? All right, let's go to the next question. Go ahead, hors d'oeuvres. You got the mic back.
Thanks, I appreciate it. The second question is a little more complicated, I think. First and foremost for me, it depends on the candidate. However, again, I don't know that anyone really wins, right? There's not ever going to be one candidate that truly speaks to everything that we need, especially minorities in this country. However, I think winning in this particular situation is like a step-by-step basis. So based on what we're going through right now, I'm going to vote over one or the other because I don't want to live in the past. I don't want everything that we have worked for to be erased. I think that would be horrible. I think people's lives would be much more difficult. So in essence, I think it depends on the candidate. I think that it depends on the willingness to deconstruct what has caused so much harm by the candidate. But I think winning, honestly, can be level with YT and BLK people in this country if people seek liberation, if there's no longer a caste system. And I don't think that this country will get there, especially not in my lifetime. That's a fact.
Okay. Do you believe that Black and white people, let's say Black and white Christians, worship the same God? Do you think that's possible?
That's a great question. I do not. There are too many factions within the Christian faith. There are too many nuances that color the teaching of the Bible. I don't believe so. No, I don't.
If a famous quote from Joshua Moponga of Nigeria says, if the slave and the master worship the same God, whose prayers does he answer? So when we talk about Black people and voting for a candidate, and we think about what's in the best interest of Black people, not what's in the best interest of America, because what's been in the best interest of America up until now has always been the destruction of Black people. So if we think about what's in the best interest of Black people, how can they vote for a candidate that is willing to negotiate their humanity and we still call it beneficial?
I agree with that. I do. But what happens when the alternative is so dire, that
Do you
no,
do
go
you
ahead.
believe the dire alternative can sustain itself? Like, when in history has a fascist regime like sustained itself?
I don't believe that a fascist regime can sustain itself, because that hasn't happened in history. But this is just the beginning. And those regimes, they lasted for some time.
In
So the
Rome,
question,
but not in the 20th century. But in
sure,
Rome, yeah.
sure. But that doesn't mean the past can't be repeated, right? And what
Well,
pain will we have to go through when those are the choices, the two choices that we have ahead of us, or the two choices, the two clear choices, or the choice not to do anything at all? My preference is not to devolve into fascism, because I have grandchildren and I don't want them to exist in a place like that. I just don't.
do you think that that one of the candidates is anti-fascist?
I don't think that's, I think that's a graded question, right? I feel like there may be some gray area. One is not blatantly fascist.
Okay, so would you rather someone say they're going to smack you before they smack you, or would you rather them just do it? And which one is better?
Neither is better. However, if we're going to base the question on what we're actually facing in this country, I'd rather just be slapped and have an opportunity to block.
I see. All right. I'm going to leave it there because I don't want to turn this into a debate. I appreciate your insight, hors d'oeuvres.
Of course. Have a great evening.
All right. You too. Zachary, what's going on? Give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
What up, man?
Peace.
37, black, he, him. In theory, black and white people could benefit from unifying along with the rest of the world. The problem is the mere existence of a fictitious yet made tangible system of inferiority to claim an identity is a cancer that white people have that has metastasized itself across the planet. So due to their lack of evolution into actually acting like human beings, they lack the capacity to unify with anybody because their existence is at the expense of everyone else. Holistically, as a system. I'm not speaking about individual people. I'm talking about the system that you benefit from puts you at that disadvantage. It doesn't matter who you vote for. The rich have been playing you like a fiddle since inception of America and before then. There's a lot of people that say we're all united. You can't be united if your ideologies aren't united. And for people to be unified, white people would actually have to deconstruct the fictitious lies that they've been taught. They would have to decenter themselves away from themselves and reconvene with the people who they come from. And they have the capacity to do that because they want to be identified as different. And that's their problem. Again, they are the youngest subspecies of human on the planet. Everything that was taught to them was taught to them. Everything about culture, civilization, science was taught to them. So, or they took it and then burned the libraries from which they learned this stuff from, right? So you have a history of trying to create an identity by rewriting history. And it's almost like you birthing children and then your children coming to you years later and saying, yeah, we birthed you.
Dr. Chancellor Williams, yeah.
We can't unify because your ideology of how you exist is a falsehood. And you can't unite with people that stand in truth because they had no other choice but to stand in truth and fight against the powers that be. So no, yeah, I mean, yes,